watch the watcher, the old phrase goes.
You watch the watcher.
Yeah, because a person's got to watch over people, but who's gonna watch over the guy who watches over people?
Right. Yeah. There was a song that someone to watch over me. Nancy Wilson did that. She used to sing that to me all the time. Yeah.
So Nancy Wilson, you broke her. That sounds like you hurt her. You broke her record.
Well, I got her introduced to you.
You didn't break her heart.
Yeah, I got her introduced.
Or her body. Or
Nancy. We used to call it
in
LeBaron.
the best of ways, you broke it.
LeBaron called her the baby.
LeBaron Taylor?
Yeah, called her the baby.
Why?
Well, if you want to give her a sweet name, he just nicknamed her the baby.
He was a local radio.
He was a disc jockey
in
at Detroit, and it just so happened that, LeBaron, when he came here, I think he was an engineer, and
at the radio
WCHB.
Station.
And so we was sponsoring the show anyway. Our store was.
Yeah.
Okay. And he was in the engineer department. Someone was late getting to work.
Yeah.
And he put in a cassette. I think a couple of cassettes and the sets from cassette.
Someone was not like the janitor was late, not like the cleaning lady.
His relief man.
The on-air talent.
Right.
You're supposed to be on at such and such time.
He was late.
No show, or he was late. So what are they going to do? They throw LeBaron Taylor, the engineer, who's just standing around. Hey, you go on air.
No.
How'd it go?
He pushed the tape in.
They put the tape in.
And he used 2 tapes.
Okay.
And the guy's still late. So.
Okay.
So he had to say something. So he went on air. He started talking, and the sponsor, our customer, heard his voice. And they come in the store, and they was talking to Miss Skiball about how nice he sound and all that kind of his voice and this and that. And that's how it started.
Because you were bankrolling the show, so you get to choose who's the host. So you chose him as the host, or you and Florence did.
Right.
Man.
Right.
That's
and
the
so
power
because
you
Miss
had.
Skiball called the station.
Yeah.
You know, at that time, she was Jewish, man. And
her whole life she was.
But what I'm saying, we wasn't. What did we?
At that era of Jewish people.
That era of time, what black person had to
thought of things.
Bell, they was black on the station. They was the first black on the radio station in the country. Bell, WCHB. They no longer there anymore, right? They had WCHB, then JZZ. That was still owned by Bell. In fact, they used to live right down the street here. Not in this area.
Yeah.
And one New Year's night, came down to the house New Year's came in, he ordered catering food, and he had a lot of soul food. And
LeBaron?
Huh?
LeBaron?
No.
The WCHB guy?
Yeah, what's his name? I just called it Bell.
Art Bell, Tom Bell?
Not Tom Bell. They owned up anyway.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I can't call his name right now. You know,
the big cheese at the
right,
big
the owner. But they was friends that we know and that kind of thing. And we went down there. In fact, we went in his car and I never forget. It was real snow. It was ice was out there, and so we came down there. Yeah, and but nobody ate it. We didn't eat it, you know. But I was just saying that happened. But anyway, and Miss Skiball called them a Bell. You know, they knew who it was. She sponsored the show, right?
Yeah.
And she gave comment for LeBaron. So LeBaron, he played first on Sunday.
Now we should put some context in here. It's not like this is the first time she's ever heard of the guy. She had an extensive history previous to that one crazy kismet instance. She had Florence had a previous history with LeBaron Taylor. Extensive.
Well, I'm saying.
For the folks watching at home,
I understand.
We
bought direct from the manufacturer. At the time, we was getting the record played on the radio. We advertised on the radio. And in that era of time, was no black on advertising. In fact, what black had a record store doing that thing. They had white white record shop. They had Elman cars.
Yeah.
I think they was owned by black. But they were still small compared to who? You understand?
Yeah.
They were selling to black people at that time. How many black records were selling? Because how many black person have a record player?
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's a lot went on in that time to get where we are today. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You see, and I was just telling you that how LeBaron came apart. That's all.
But LeBaron used to call every day.
He would call every Monday and talk to Miss Carroll. I don't know what they talk about. They'd be on the phone for a long time.
And this is before all that happened, right?
I don't know what the four was in that area because they were friends. Okay. They got to be friends, and more they talk, the tighter they get, I guess.
Oh, so it could have happened after.
Yeah, it could have. Okay, I'm just talking about during the time. I'm just talking about during the time that.
Around then, yeah.
Around the time how it came about, I said Miss Kidwell was advertising on the radio on the Sunday. She bought the whole show. I think we was on the sponsor.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yeah.
And so that means she had power. Yeah, of course they're going to look at her first. First because she's Jewish or white or whatever. She wasn't black, you know? And so that's who opened the doors for us. I'm just saying. I just happened to be working there at the time.
Yeah.
And that's how I got my foot started in there. But anyway, LeBaron got on, and LeBaron got popular and popular and popular. Then he left Detroit. In fact, one of my employees, my first or second employee, she worked for us, and she knew all the people in touch with the people, the younger generation at the time, like the funeral home, my father's funeral home. His son knew her. They was friends. She went to college.
Yeah.
You know, she wasn't a cleanup girl. You know, she was. I'm just still saying that people that was up there, like the Mike Fall brother, and he was a friend of mine, and like the same way with the black guy who owned the airplane.
The airport?
Out here on Gratiot.
Yeah, yeah.
What was his name? His son and I just happened to be friends.
Man.
And
wow.
he happened to know how to fly a plane because his dad owned a school, right?
Yeah.
So he just happened to be my friend.
Yeah.
And he also worked for the funeral home on East Grand Boulevard. I think he had something to do with that. Anyway, he was the first pilot for Ray Charles.
Wow.
Yeah, he was. Ray Charles first got I think, one engine plane, but anyway, he got a 4-engine plane because he was talking to me about it, and he was the pilot. His name Raymond Duncan.
Man.
That was his name, Raymond Duncan. Okay, Duncan Airport. You can Google that, right?
Yes, sir.
He's right here on Gratiot. I'm just still saying.
I've driven by it many times.
Right,
yes,
right. Well, I'm just still saying this is how I got to be with these people. Duncan, he left when he, like I said, he was Ray Charles Applin. And I don't know whether he's still alive or what happened to him. But, you know, he didn't come just back. I don't know. I didn't see. He's coming to the store all the time. And we talk, and I consider we friends.
Man.
You know? It just happened to be. Yeah. And but you know, I never. If I saw Ray Charles, I didn't. You know, well, when Ray Charles done what I said, that was my style. You understand what I'm saying? When Ray Charles came out, "Am I blue? Am I blue? Ain't these eyes telling you?" Something, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? I like that. I started liking Ray Charles. Genius plus soul.
Yes, you mentioned that before.
See, because, like I said, blues, I didn't, and what I said, I did that, I partied with that, you know, but I didn't, that was my thing. Yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm trying to explain that I don't know what things happened, but things did happen, and these people are successful, and these people are who they are. I just happened to come in contact with these people. You follow me? And Nancy Wilson, like I said, by having these albums, not selling, I just happened to play it because she looked good, you know. And on the 3 albums, Something Like Love was the first one, Something Wonderful was the second one. I think the tune's on Something Wonderful. Guess what I saw today? I think it's on there. Anyway, I got LeBaron to play it, and I liked her voice. And when and we got Nancy Wilson exposed. So she called Capitol Records, a guy named Tom Gilotti. In fact, he was actually he was white, absolutely, but he didn't seem like he had a precious bone in his body. When he got married, I was there at his wedding. Nancy Wilson was there at his wedding. Trudy Haynes was there. I think that we about the only black was at his wedding. It was out on Gratiot, near the beach, Metropolitan Beach.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's someplace out there on the left-hand side.
Okay.
It was a row of buildings. They had rented places, parties, weddings, or whatever in there. So I drive. Of course, I'm black. And I drive up there, and the guy stopped me and says, "Who was I looking for?" I was getting invited to the wedding. And like I said, at this wedding, Nancy Wilson, I was there, Nancy Wilson, Trudy Haynes, and maybe one or two other people there. But at this guy's wedding. And they asked Nancy Wilson to sing. Would she sing a song? And we laughed. They only had a recorder, what you call a recorder, not a recorder.
Acoustic guitar?
Banjo. I put the banjo.
Wow.
Something like that.
That's not a song, or that's not an instrument you play something romantic on.
That's what, for Nancy Wilson, you understand? But I'm just saying, that's what happened. You know?
I saw a light. Oh, this light went out. Yeah.
I'm just saying that's what happened. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Nancy Wilson, and he worked Nancy Wilson record album. He was always in our store. And he liked me, and that kind of, I got first class tickets everywhere. I see there we go, Miss Keyworld and all. And so Nancy Wilson, well, they know where the record sold from. They know what station played.
Who would deserve credit? Yeah.
Right. So Nancy got in touch with Tom Gilotti. She came to my store, and the stage said, "Would she come down an hour?" She drove over from Cincinnati. I think she had 6 sisters and brothers or something. I think it was 6. One got killed or died after that.
Man. But
they stayed in the store for about 3 hours, man. And she was having a good time. The picture's on the wall, you know. I don't have his on that closet at birth. And she had the album out with Cannibal at the time. You follow me?
Yeah.
And that's the one she had on Saving My Love for Me. Wish I knew why I'm so in love with you. And we used to talk about that because I didn't like vocals. And a couple of times I walk in a club and she's singing on stage. She can be singing another song. I did this at Baker's. And when I walked in the club, she's on stage singing. Baker's was
Keyboard Lounge in Detroit, yeah.
Right. And she saw me, she went in, wish I hadn't started singing the song to me.
Ah.
And I said, man, really not.
Man.
Yeah, and I sat right down front and light there, and she came over. I mean, she always, and she always called me when she's in town. And she always said, you know where I'm living? A couple times I didn't call, didn't go by or something. She just, always welcome there. We were pretty close. Once she called, wanted to use my car. Yeah, and
that's not just some random person.
I don't know what happened. At that time, rent a car. I mean, it was very few. It wasn't that popular in those days.
You really were good friends. Yeah, clearly.
Well, she called me on the phone, and someone else's phone, and she said, "Don't say who I am. It's Nancy." She didn't want nobody else to know.
Celebrity. Yeah.
Yeah, and so something she had to do, and she needed a car, and I was gonna let her. I told her but she called back. She got what she had to do or something. I don't remember in detail, but we was pretty close. She always acknowledged me. Yeah, Nancy, and last time she's in Cobo Hall, and a friend of mine who played trumpet. He was in a band.
Yeah.
In fact, he was going. I told him to come be on with us. He wanted to. I don't know what he was going to do yet. He played trumpet. He also played with the Funk Brothers.
Parliament Funk? P-Funk?
The Funk Brothers, Motown.
Wow.
And he's the guy. His name is Gordon Kemp.
Yeah.
Plays trumpet. I talk to him every so often, but anyway. And I was talking about, we had mentioned him.
Yeah.
In fact, when we went to Fisher Theater once, he used to come in the store every day on his lunch hour. He had his horn case, suit and tie. And he was, being black, and when he's done downtown, he had a job. He worked for the, I think, the government. But anyway, he had a nice college job. You understand what I'm saying? In those days, there was very few of us doing that. So he would come out on the lunch hour and look at the apples. He wouldn't be long, and then he would go down to Grinnell's. So I asked him one day what he's done. He would go there to practice. He went on his lunch hour. He rehearsed every day.
Wow.
Instead of eating a sandwich, he'd be rehearsing.
Yeah.
And he was very dedicated.
Yeah.
And he told me about he was played some thing with Motown. So we went to Fisher Theater when the Full Top opened up there. And I asked him about this last week. And I said, we were sitting, our seats was right down front by the stage. When the stage lights came on dark, the stage come out of the basement, bright eyes, and they was playing nice music, and that was Gordon. Never forget it. He was on the front, he played trumpet. And I was so proud of him. Because at that time, black didn't go to the Fisher Theater hardly. You follow me? But
in any context.
Right. In fact, at the time, I know people that when they want to go to black people, they didn't want to go. It's a white place.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to bring out. And I was proud of going. We was at the Fisher Theater, and I was sitting down front. Nice, and I felt good,
Yeah.
And the atmosphere, and that was going, because the Full Top came up singing. To be black coming out of there, you understand what I'm saying? When Berry Gordy had opened up an act, he invited people who can help him promote his stuff. So we always got invitation.
Yeah. Highest form of flattery.
Always got invitation. Okay?
Oh, invitation, not imitation, yeah.
Yeah, invitation. I'm just saying that this should be our record. It's not. See, people don't understand. I'm proud to be the one that missing link. You can't change what it is.
Wouldn't be without Lee.
That's the way it was.
Missing Lee.
You couldn't get your record on the radio. Nobody gonna hear it. If nobody hear it, nobody gonna buy it. How you gonna know about it? Just think. It's not exaggeration. That's just the way it is.